Now, as I predicted yesterday, Labor has rolled over on the drought fund legislation. There was no way known they could hold out against such a measure. So stay tuned now to see them roll over on other measures, such as the foreign fighters legislation I just mentioned, and perhaps even the Medivac bill. I'll explain some of that in just a moment and show you how some people in the Labor Party are still in denial about what happened during the election. But first, let's look at their coalition side and the cases of former prominent ministers Julie Bishop and Christopher Pyne. Now, after retiring at the election, they've both taken significant jobs that will clearly rely in large part on their expertise and insights that they picked up in their ministerial portfolios in government. Former Defence Minister Pyne is going to help Ernst & Young build up its defence work, and former Foreign Minister Julie Bishop will sit on the board of consultants Palladium, which has a stack of government contracts. Now, an internal government report has cleared these appointments, saying they don't breach the guidelines that prevent former ministers lobbying in areas for 18 months after they leave politics. And there's no suggestion here that either Pyne or Bishop have done anything untoward. In fact, the guidelines are so loose, they should be able to do these jobs, carefully avoiding certain types of meetings to make sure they fully comply with the guidelines. But this just doesn't pass the pub test. They are profiting clearly from their ministerial expertise and contacts. Neither of them is actually crying poor, and after long and well-paid political careers, nor should they. But of course they are both relatively young, and neither should they be denied from pursuing another career. But how about just a little bit of patience? How about just a little bit of manners instead of rushing in to get their hands on the prize? A Senate committee now has been set up. It's going to look at these positions, and it's going to create the first whiff of scandal about the Morrison government post the election. If these two ministers just waited a bit of time, former ministers I should say, if they just waited a bit of time, cooled their jets for perhaps 6 months, I doubt this would have created much attention, attracted much attention or created much of a storm at all. But they've just been a bit too eager, haven't they, after leaving the government? They're probably now going to be the first people to create the embarrassment for the government. They